Cathy.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Ola, and welcome to Winnipeg Book Club.
In today's video, we're going to be talking about the upcoming novel in the Stormlight Archive, Wind and Truth. This is book 5 in the Stormlight Archive. Now, Cathy has read books 1 to 4 this year as a first-time reader, and we've had lengthy discussions about all 4 of them. If you're interested in them, please feel free to go and check them out. But today, we're going to be talking about what we think might be happening in book 5, what we're looking for, what we want to happen in book 5, and then asking each other some questions of like hypothetical scenarios. I will say Cathy has only read books 1 through 4 of the Stormlight Archive. I have read more of the Cosmere, not the full extent of it. So if you are going to comment, please be wary of spoilers in the comments, because Cathy might be reading a bit more of the Cosmere at other times. And with that, let's get on with the video. Cathy, what do you think is going to happen in book 5?
Well, I think the big thing that's set up to happen is this contest. In 10 days.
Yeah, in 10 days. Who do you think Odium thought his champion was? Because I think Odium thought it was going to be Kaladin.
Oh, I think he thought it was going to be Dalinar.
Ooh. Immediately dissension.
I thought he thinks Dalinar was going to be his champion.
Okay.
And he's most put out that he hasn't driven Dalinar to do that. Because he built up for years with a thrill. And yeah, I think that was his big...
Well, yeah. So originally I think that was Odium's plan. But after that fails, he says in book 4 that he knows who his champion is. When he's talking to Dalinar about the contest, he says, I know who my champion is. And I think at that point he's thinking that Moash will be able to turn Kaladin to his side. But then obviously Kaladin does not succumb to Odium. Do you think he still knows who his champion is? Who do you think he might put up there?
I think Moash is a big contender.
I agree. Do you think it will be a human or a fused?
If it was a fused, I think that would be a more interesting battle.
Okay.
Because I think the fused, because they are representatives of the listeners, there's a bit more sympathy there. If it's Moash at this point, Moash just deserves what he gets, doesn't he? Like...
Is Moash not worthy of redemption? What? Oh my gosh, wait, I'm going to jump in here because I've made my dad start reading Oathbringer, and Moash has just joined, where he's up to, Moash has just joined the singers in the camps in Colonor, and my dad was talking about how he like stood up to some overseers who were being mean to the singers that helped Kaladin earlier on in the book, and he was like, ooh, what, do I sense some like a redemption arc for Moash on the horizon? And I was like sat there thinking, Dad, you haven't even got to the bad things. You haven't even got to the bad things. Yeah, so you don't think... do you think Moash is going to die?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Moash is like...
Will you cry when he does?
No.
I'll be sad if Moash dies.
I,
Did you cry when Raboniel died?
No.
Oh. Did you cry when Raboniel killed a daughter?
No, but I did feel sad.
Okay, I cried with both those.
I think I only cried for Teft and when Kaladin saw his brother in a dream.
That was sad.
Yeah, that was
But
really
happy
good.
at the same time.
Yeah.
We've immediately derailed.
Oh yeah, immediately.
So you think it's going to be Moash v Dalinar in the Contest of Champions? Is it going to be a fight or like battle of wits?
Or Battle of Powers.
Battle of powers, who knows? And you
Yeah.
think Dalinar's going to win and Moash is going to die?
I think Moash is going to die. I'm not sure if Dalinar's going to win.
Ooh.
Because Dalinar can lose the contest. Because the big thing that happens if Dalinar loses the contest is that Dalinar has to serve Odium. So that's the thing at stake.
Okay.
And I think that's at stake because I think Sanderson wants to explore what that would mean. Because of the terms of the thing, of the agreement they've made, I think the more interesting thing will be if Dalinar loses and survives, because I don't know how he's going to cope serving Odium.
Oh my gosh, I've just thought, the fact that Navani makes anti-void light in book 4, which has the power to kill the fused, who are like in this endless cycle of rebirth, if Dalinar loses and like is then trapped in that endless cycle of rebirth, Navani like will have the power to free him from that.
Oh, no. Ugh.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of... So if Moash does die, and I don't want him to, because I think...
You just want to redeem everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. But if Moash does die, who has he hurt the most? You know what I mean? My gal Navani. If Moash dies, Navani has to be the one who kills him. I'm just putting that out there.
Okay.
He's taken too much from her. But I don't want that to happen. Because A, I don't want Moash to die, I want him to be redeemed. And B, I don't want Navani to be that bloodthirsty.
Oh, and I think Moash is being set up as Kaladin's opposing points. I think it'll be them two that have to fight one another one way or another.
Speaking of death, do you think any of our main cast are going to die? Aside from Dalinar losing the battle to Odium and being trapped in an endless torment forever.
I think...
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Do you not think Kaladin's gonna die?
Don't say it.
I think Kaladin's going to die. I do.
I don't want Kaladin to die.
Because Kaladin's curse has been to survive when everybody else dies, and that really, really hurts him. I think if he can die, and knowing for once it means that he gets to make the sacrifice, but
then that will really, really hurt me.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna get hurt in this book. That's my big prediction.
Okay.
We're gonna get hurt, but then there'll be stuff that makes us happy too. But I think Kaladin and Dalinar are gonna have to pay a huge cost.
Okay.
I think the thing I'm worried about, although I don't know whether I'm meant to worry about it or not, because sorry, Ola, go on.
Like Brandon Sanderson, now we know he's good at making people cry from fictional characters.
He really is.
Yeah.
Because you said the Mistborn series is like in 2 halves, but the first half does resolve itself properly before the second half begins. So I'm hoping that happens with this too, especially if there's going to be a jump.
It's not a big jump though, it's only 15 years. So the characters in this first half will still be there in the second half. Unless they're dead!
Oh,
See, I thought you were going to say that you think Annalyn will die.
Oh.
That is not a viable option for me. If Kaladin dies, I will be sad, but as you have said, it will make sense thematically in Kaladin's arc.
No, I don't think Adolin will die, because I think he's yet to come into his own. So I could see him being set up of having a big step to take in this next book and be a main player in the third 5.
I would love that. I would love that. I don't know if that will happen. Do we ever learn in Rhythm of War if Adolin and Shallan are allowed to leave the Honest Brand City or not? Because I can't remember if we do. I feel like it's not actually explicitly said.
I think that everybody gives up on trying to do anything after the revelation.
Okay.
And
Do you think Adolin will be free to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope so. I think Shadesmar's a little bit boring, so I don't want to spend a lot of time in there.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you think Adolin will become an edge dancer with Maya as his Radiance brand?
I could see that happening, but I'd rather Adon and Maya form a new kind of Spren-human relationship.
I also think, so when I reread this time, I've been thinking about theories that I have, and a lot of Adolin POVs, he thinks about how he isn't good enough because he isn't a Knight Radiant, and there's this one in, I think it was in Rhythm of War actually, where Dalinar wants him to bond with Spren, and Adol is like, yet again, that is something that I cannot do.
Yeah.
And if he did bond with Spren, he would have to give up Maya because of the screaming in his head.
Yeah.
So I think it would completely go against his storyline and his character development in understanding that just because he isn't a Radiant, that doesn't mean that he can't make worthwhile contributions and that he isn't the best character in the series.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't think if he does become an edge dancer, I think that will be the wrong choice. I know that I'm not the author of the novel, but
What if it does happen?
then I'll just have to get over it, Orla, unfortunately.
I'd like to see a lot more of Renarin.
Uh-huh.
He's still my mystery boy. I don't really
Mystery boy.
I don't really know him. And I hope he's the flashback character.
I think I know who the flashback character is. I can't say for certain because Brandon has said who all 10 flashback characters are.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that must give away some spoilers.
Well, not necessarily, because Ashona had flashbacks.
Oh yeah, and she's dead.
I'm not going to tell you who they are, but
Okay.
I think I know who all 6 future flashback POVs are. So yeah, you want the next one to be Renarin.
I want it to be Renarin. I want to know more about him, and he is one of the characters whose past I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Not fully. I want Renarin.
Okay, that's fine. He wasn't
The mystery boy.
The mystery boy.
He was barely in this one at all.
Yeah. And he is a mystery because his future is
Yeah.
unknowable. Odium can't see him. He
Yeah.
is the mystery boy, Ola.
Mm.
He is the mystery boy.
Whenever you film these videos, you're all like, alright then, so this is this boy, this is this boy, and this is this boy.
Do you think Odium is going to be different in this book?
Gosh, that's a tough question because there's the power and the vessel. I'm not sure. And I think because old Odium, Race, had been with Odium for so long, part of Odium for such a long time, they'd kind of become the same thing. And like, yes, there was a little bit of friction there, but I think there will be friction between Taravangian and Odium. Gosh, I don't know. I do not know. I still don't know if Taravangian has ascended to godhood for the good of mankind, or if he has selfish interests overall. And I know that you think he is.
I think he's selfish interests overall.
You always want them to be bad.
I love a good bad guy.
Well, you didn't cry when Reboniel died. What a great villain she is.
She's a very good villain.
Love her.
I don't... Do we have any good villains left against the Fused who stand out?
So there's a guy who's just come back called L. He kills Lexion, the pursuer, at the end of Rhythm of War.
Okay.
And the epigraphs of part 5 are his musings on the first of the final 10 days. He's got big horns,
okay.
and he doesn't have any rhythms.
Ooh.
Does he? Is that it? Maybe he doesn't have any rhythms. He also doesn't have a name. Obviously, he's called L.
Okay.
But he, like, Lexion was the pursuer. Reboniel was Lady of Wishes or Lady of Pains. So he doesn't have a title. His title was Via, the one who quiets.
Ooh.
But that's Moash. Moash is the one who quiets. So Moash is given L's title. But L has just arrived onto the scene. So I imagine L will be the...
Imagine having just read Rhythm of War and not understood any of that from the book.
But so I imagine that he will be the evil...
There's so much of this book I've clearly not understood or not got. Oh no. That sounds really interesting though. I'm for it.
So maybe he will be Odium's champion. I don't really know. I don't know. Not sure. Do you think Odium will be different?
Yeah. I think he's going to be more chaotic.
Ooh. Yeah, because obviously there's the duality in Taravangian, isn't there?
Yeah.
This has been chaotic.
That is chaotic Also, if Odium can be killed and be taken on by somebody else, which I did not realise was a thing until the end of that last book, could Honor come back with a human vessel?
That's a great question, isn't it? It's a really good question, isn't it, Cathy? So I think the answer to that is yes. Well, it's never been confirmed, but I think the answer to that is yes. I think shards can be unshattered. So Odium shattered Honor. So if that is the case and Honor is reforged...
Kaladin!
Right. Yeah. So here's the thing. There's evidence that it could be Kaladin. There's evidence that it could be Dalinar. Now, I am of the Kaladin variety. I think Dalinar is going to die and become Odium's little errand boy.
Yeah.
Kaladin, with the help of Adolin and Syl, because here's the thing, Adolin is restorative. Like he is bringing Maya back. He can see Shallan and center her and help the fracturing in her personality. He can pull Kaladin out of the depths of his despair. He is just the best boy in the world, and he heals people and he brings them back to who they should be. So I think Kaladin and Syl is not your normal honest friend. She is different. She's also growing and is becoming more connected to Kaladin and is feeling his emotions. So I think what's going to happen is that with Adeline's restorative powers, Kaladin and Syl are going to like combine and pick up and like reform Honor.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Sorry, I'm just talking.
No,
about
and
this.
I think we're all going to be right. So I think Kaladin is going to sacrifice himself, die, and be reborn as Honor. And part of becoming Honor is sacrificing yourself. That's what I think is going to happen.
Because Kaladin's first chapter is called Honor is Dead.
Yes!
And then in Words of Radiance he says, Honor is dead, but I'll see what I can do. You know? Like,
do you think there's going to be a chapter called Honor Lives?
Someone says, I can't remember who it is, the character in Rhythm before says, Honor isn't dead as long as it still lives in the hearts of men.
I think it's in Adeline's trial.
Ooh, yes it is! It's Notum? Does Notum say
I
that?
can't remember which one says it, but somebody says it.
Yeah, and...
So that's almost a definite.
Yeah.
So yeah, Honor is definitely being reforged, and we're of the Kaladin variety. If you think it's Dalinar, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you are wrong.
And if it's Shallan, I will scream.
Speaking of Shallan, do you want to hear a fun theory?
Oh yeah.
This is not my theory, because I don't have this brain, but I don't know where people got this from, but I am fully on board this train. I accept this as canon. I know that it's not canon, but I accept this as canon.
Okay.
So, Shallan's mum, in this theory, was a herald, and she tried to kill Shallan, because obviously Shallan had bonded a shard blade, and she was like, well, that means that the Radiant's coming back, and that is bad. So she tries to kill Shallan, Shallan kills her, her mum, the herald, goes to damnation, and that's why the Everstorm starts happening. That's why the Fused are coming, like, that's why things are coming back, why the Knights Radiant are coming back, because Shallan has sent a herald back to damnation, who immediately breaks, because Town never broke.
Yeah.
In all of the millennia that the heralds were fighting, it was never Town that broke.
Yeah.
And that's why they choose Town to go to hell by himself, so raised by himself, because he was never meant to be in the Oath Pacts. Like, he's just a normal man. He's really strong. So
if one of them breaks,
it
all
breaks.
Okay.
It all restarts. That's a fun theory.
That's
and I'm
a great
like,
theory.
right? Whoever came up with that, you're a genius.
Yeah.
I fully buy into it.
Yeah.
Fully, 100%.
I hope we do find out.
I hope we find out.
I'd like to find out more about Patton.
What more is there to know?
I don't know. I feel like, well, maybe like the cryptic's intentions with Shallan, because it feels like they've sought her out. So yeah, I enjoy Patton. It's funny, Shallan's storylines have never hooked me that much, but I really do like Patton.
I came up with this like really wild theory that Rlain is gonna take up Odium after like, this might be in the future, but there's this scene in Rhythm of War where Kaladin is trapped in a room, bleeding out on the floor, Moash has just stabbed him or something, and there's the light coming through the door, and he thinks something along the lines of, if there ever was a divinity or a divine or a deity, it was in that light, and then who steps out of the light? Rlain.
Oh.
And Odium is always described as this like really bright light. So is Rlain one day going to become Odium, and that's why he has no future? I don't really know. I did look up to see if anyone else had picked up on this, and what I could find was that the warm light is something to do with the spiritual realm, which I don't really understand. So maybe I'm wrong there, but I'm putting it out there in the world. Maybe Rlain will take up Odium, but in like a good way.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
can
I
see
mean?
that. Yeah, I like that one too.
And if Kaladin doesn't become Honor and actually Adeline becomes Honor, then it'll be like brother besties.
Oh, that would be cute.
But if it is Kaladin and Syl who become Honor together, then neither of them will ever be alone again. They won't have to like deal with the other dying, because they're like best mates. It'll be great.
I love that.
Me too.
Because Kaladin doesn't really have that many people left in the world who he actually has a connection with anymore. Oh, also, Rock. Rock disappeared halfway through this book.
He's gone home.
And there's hints that he has nefarious intentions.
What?
Somebody's called Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's only me. She said in one of the earlier scenes where Rock's kind of like watching everybody. He says several times, you have to know your enemy. And then the thing is Rock observing everything, observing how they get on. And he says several times that you have to know your enemy.
What?
And it's just made me think like, what? Has Rock been planning something? Did you never?
No! I never picked up on this at all!
Oh, I have not just made it. Oh, I'm pretty sure there was a chapter. Because he just made me think like, what is Rock up to? And then he disappears. He's like, I've got to go back home. So I feel like Rock has some plans that we don't know about. And it might be that I've misunderstood something. That is obviously it's something
I did not pick up on that at all.
But he also might just be a character like Rlain, who like starts off as a spy, an enemy, and then came to realize like, oh no, this is my crew. Because like Rock's people might have been antagonistic towards the Alethi, and then he's come to like change his mind. But yeah, I think Rock needs to come back, and there's stuff going on there that we don't know about.
I don't know if he will though, because the way that it's written when he leaves is like,
goodbye.
Like, I'll never see you again.
What if he dies trying to do it, and that's why he said goodbye like that?
Oh yeah.
What if he's going to like sacrifice himself or something?
I could see Rock doing that.
Yeah.
I love Rock.
Me too.
But I still thought he was perhaps a secret enemy because of some weird wording in the chapter.
You've genuinely unlocked a fear inside of me. I don't like it.
I don't really know what Yasna's gonna get up to.
Oh mate, I've got no clue. Yasna's too smart for me to understand.
Yeah. We only see Yasna very briefly, and to begin with, she's this person searching for like a lost city to stop a disaster happening.
Yeah.
But then the disaster happens, and so she's I feel like she's a bit lost in terms of her motivations. Like she's trying to run the war and become that person, but because the scale of this book's so huge, it doesn't seem that. Doing that, her role in this doesn't seem that important. If she wasn't in this book, in the last book, nothing really would have changed.
No. What is Kaladin going to do next book, aside from become Honor? What?
I don't know. So
how did Rhythm of War leave it? Do you remember?
He's weighing shards, but how did he end? I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't remember.
So... Sveth is with Dalinar when he goes to see the Herald, and the Herald has his father's sword, Sveth's father's sword, from Shinovar, and he's like, "Oh, my father is dead.
I need to go back and
like sort out my homeland." And Dalinar says, "Yeah, that's fine. You can do that." And then at the end of Rhythm of War, when Dalinar gets back to the tower, he says to Kaladin they talk about the contents of champions, and he says to Kaladin that before you like retire, I have a job for you. And Kaladin's like, oh, don't make me fight, I can't do it. But then he says, you need to go on a field trip to Shinovar. So Sveth and Kaladin are going to Shinovar.
Yes.
In book 5. What do you think is going to happen there? That's the place where strawberries come from.
Oh yeah, the place that humans were meant to stay. Yeah, I think they will uncover how things first went wrong between humans and listeners.
Ooh.
That's what I think would happen there.
Yeah, that is something that I would like to know about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, what do you think is going to happen with the remaining listeners? What are they going to do?
I think we're not going to see them until the next 5. I don't think they're going to be in book 5, sorry. I don't think they're going to be in this next one.
Maybe they'll try really hard, and then they like make more of themselves to make them like bigger and like they used to.
Like get more people on their side.
Yeah.
I think we might see them in an interlude.
Okay.
But other than that, I don't think we're going to see them next book.
Do you think that this next book is going to take place over 10 days?
I think so. Do you?
I hope so. I feel like that's what it's been set up as. And if it turns out they go like, oh yeah, but that happens halfway through the book, it's going to be like, oh, now what? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Gosh, that's good. But if it... I mean, if it does happen over 10 days though, I don't think Kaladin will become Honor in this next book. I think that will be in the second half.
Later cycle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I still think it will happen.
Yeah.
But maybe not in this next book.
I think the tricky thing now is I don't know. I've just no idea what's going to happen in terms of like what's going to raise the stakes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be another siege story.
Mm-hmm. I think because Kaladin's going to Shinovar to get Ishar, the Herald, to try and get him to teach Dalinar Bondsmith powers.
Yeah.
So that has to happen quite quickly for him to have time to at least have some knowledge about them before the end of the 10 days.
I'm intrigued about how it's going to handle this because so far the pattern has been like, you know, this character's like, I'm going to go do a thing, and then they go to a place to do the thing, and like, I'm going to be here for 3 months and try and convince somebody to do the thing with me. And if we're going to really utilise this 10-day contest thing, you don't have time to do that, which I think would be a bit refreshing at this stage. Like, Kaladin can't go and like, I'm going to win this guy over the next 6 months.
Well, yeah, you can't, can you?
No, it's going to have to be no, we're doing this. So it's like a 1-chapter conversation.
You are deluding yourself. Although maybe it's the fight, like the contest, and then the fallout.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't really know.
Maybe the contest doesn't take place over 1 day. Maybe the
it's like metaphysical.
Yeah, I'd hate that.
I think, jumping that back to Yasna, I think the reason that I don't know what's going to happen with Yasna is that I don't think she's just for Roshar. Because obviously she's already been to Shadesmar and Off-World.
Yeah.
Has she been before?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't really know. I don't know. So I think her and Wit are more wider Cosmere implication type thing. Do you think, this is my last question. No, it's not my last question. Do you think, obviously Navani had this very intense coming together with Rabonio in the last book, and she ultimately takes her life to end her continued cycle. She severs her soul. And do you think it will affect Navani going forward? Do you think she'll think about Rabonio again? Is my question.
Yeah, I think Navani has like 2 paths ahead of her in that she now has a weapon that can be used to fully defeat her enemy. Could also fully defeat her own kind too. But she's got that, so she's got a pathway to fully defeat, but it came through working together with the enemy. So she could also be like a vassal for peace, to know that it's possible to work together. So I think she'll be forced with a choice of what she's going to choose.
But then if she does that one, the enemy might try to kill her.
Yeah, the enemy has not yet proven trustworthy. But then, the humans haven't proven themselves trustworthy to the listeners.
No.
But I think Sanderson is a person who believes in hope. So I think the overarching story of the Stormlight Archive will be these people making peace with one another. So I think he's never been one to make hordes of mindless enemies. His enemies have got minds. Some of them are insane. But
and I think when the Thrill takes over Amaram soldiers at the end of Bowlsbringer, that is mindless, but that is an outside force.
I mean, really, I think ultimately what I want to happen is the listeners and the humans to negotiate a peace, and to find a way through that. So it might end up being the humans and the listeners have to work together to fight off the fused, the ancient ones who want to destroy the humans and are happily taking listener lives to fuel their war. I don't know, but I think the path to peace is going to be the overarching theme of the book.
Okay. One last question.
So
there's not a lot of romance in the Stormlight Archive. Sometimes I feel like there's too much romance, and I'm like, I don't care about this. But do you have any predictions for any couples?
I think Adeline and Shalana will make it.
Well, they are married.
They are married, but I think they'll
last.
I think they'll survive and continue. I can't think of anybody who I'm like going, oh, I can't wait for them to get together.
Okay, that's fine.
Can you?
I have knowledge that is forbidden.
Oh, okay.
Forbidden knowledge. Do you think? I mean, this is for the future. This is like extending past book 5. So Adeline and Shallan make it. Do you think they'll have babies?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I think they'll be a happy family and they'll have kids to manage. Oh, and there's also Gavila's son.
Yeah, Gavin Orr and Kaladin's little brother, Odium.
Yeah. So there is a fresh generation who might play a part in books to come if they survive. Those are our many thoughts and predictions about Wind and Truth.
And write in the comments your theories and what was your favourite theory that we said in this video.
Yes, please tell us your comments and theories too. We'd love to hear them.
As long as they don't reference things in other Cosmo books. Just Stormlight books. Thanks.
Within a month, we should know whether these were right or not, which is quite exciting. Maybe we'll do another vlog and score ourselves.
I like that idea.
Wrong, right? Oh, that'd be quite fun. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any theories, do comment below. We release videos every Friday, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Then what if it's not even true and we're just making up these things?
That is a strong possibility. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, sure.